Okay, welcome back, everyone, as this is Strange Planet Podcast. And I guess to start off, it's been a rough couple of weeks. Unfortunately, we are going to say our condolences to the following. We had lost Connie Francis, Chuck Mangione, the legend, the metal legend, Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan, and Malcolm-Jamal Warner. So it's been, they say usually it comes in threes. Unfortunately, I guess this time it came in fives. But yeah, we send condolences out to the families. They were all icons. Some of them were actors, some of them were musicians. One of them was a wrestler. You know what I
One
mean?
of them was a bigot.
And one of them, I think we know which one that one was. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny you bring that up because now that we're on it, when I was a kid, and like most of us, I'm probably speaking for most of us here too, but like
Probably.
wrestling back in the WWF days, like Hogan was the icon that
Yeah.
helped develop wrestling to become kind of what it is today. He was a major catalyst to it. But then you fast forward a good 20 years till now. I don't know if it was old age, if he became senile or what, but the whole Trump thing that kind of just took me the other way. And yeah, I kind of just lost respect for the guy entirely after that. So, I'm not going to say anything insulting, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, I don't know, maybe his true colors finally came out and I wasn't with it. So, you know what I mean? That's just
Yeah,
my
no,
piece on
like,
that.
all right, so growing up, I was a huge fan of Hulk as well. I would love watching him on TV. When I would go to an arcade, I'd always want to pick Hulk,
Right?
you know, but you know, there's the image of him that he's sold, like this like American hero image. And then there was the real him, which uh or another facet of him, let's say,
Mm,
that was let's just say not the best person.
at all.
And you know the racism aside,
We'll just take that.
he,
Right?
his support for Trump, I was already pulled on Hulk by the time he threw his support behind Trump and came on stage and, you know, ripped open his shirt.
That was
Um,
ridiculous. Looked like some out of
eh,
idiocracy.
right. I mean, it was dumb, but also like you knew what it would mean to people in terms of imagery.
Mm,
Um, it was, something that you wouldn't see at any other political rally. So it was, I guess,
theater?
very on brand for Trump.
Yeah, that's a good way to
Um,
word it.
very on brand. Just very classless. Very, let's say, not traditional.
No,
Um, but you know, for him to throw his support behind, a fellow bigots candidacy for presidency, I was just like, all right, his legacy, at least in my eyes, is forever tarnished.
yeah, that's the way. No, I'm with you on that 100% too. Because like
Yeah.
it just like crippled what you thought he already was. You know what I mean? Because like you said, he was out there, the American hero, you're rah 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 with the flag. You know what I mean? And then you bring that till now, and it's like the values and stuff he's now representing is not that. You know what I mean? It's quite the opposite, realistically. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I kind of threw the towel with him years ago after that, and I'm done with it. You know what I mean?
I
Lost all respect. What do you
I
think?
think I think that he stayed too long.
That could
Kind of
be too.
like a Brett Favre. He just kind of stayed in the business too long, and then his good guy image no longer sold. So what did they do? They decided let's make him a heel. So his image in the wrestling business became him as a heel, and it was annoying, and it just I didn't like seeing him that way. So he should have retired and stayed retired.
That might have, yeah. I
But
mean,
then
that might have helped.
he did that. Then a lot of his behind the scenes stuff comes out. And, you know, He went. His wife decided to go Jada Pinkett Smith on him, and it's just I guess it was cycling. Honestly, I don't think the whole Trump thing was politically motivated as it was financially motivated because
Yeah, I agree
he
there.
lives in Florida.
Yeah, I
So
agree there.
he's a stone's throw away for Trump and Mar-a-Lago. Like, oh hey,
Exactly.
you used to be.
Yeah, but he's a multi-millionaire. He can move if he.
That's very true too.
I
Yeah, like he didn't
mean,
have to. He just joined the
I don't know.
bandwagon because they probably
he can
paid
live
him.
wherever he wants.
Yeah, that's a very,
But
very good point there.
if
Plus, he
you're
had his
living in
own
one,
beer. He's got a couple of side things. I mean, I don't know how well
He's
it was
not
selling.
poor.
So
I
like
don't think.
he's far
I'll
from
be honest.
poor.
I've lived in New York, for my entire life, different spots here and there, and I don't think I could live anywhere else.
I
I need
agree.
I need to
agree
see
there.
the snow, but I don't want it forever. And I like the hot summer, but I need a good, nice
I mean,
fall right after it because I can't deal with the heat too long.
It's like a cool down,
Yeah, I need seasons. I don't need just like hot all the time or
or cold all the
time
time. Yep.
or dark all the time. I don't care what it is.
Plus, the beauty of it too is it is a blue state, so we're able to keep certain rights and certain things here too. Luckily,
I mean, that's
you know what I mean. So
that's until they figure out how to friggin' gerrymander New York and to make it in a red state.
yeah,
They
but
can't quite do it yet, but they're trying.
they're gonna try, but I don't think it ever will turn. You know what I mean? I think it's pretty much it is what it is there. So yeah, that's the only unfortunate sad news, I guess, to throw on the table here. And
Oh no
I
no
think
no! There's one more death that we need to talk about.
there's another one too.
Yes,
I
the
missed
death
one.
of the
I mean, there
Late
was
Show.
6. Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we were
Right.
talking about that
Colbert.
briefly last week.
and so, last week, obviously, we got the news that it was canceled. And
It will be.
And right.
Yeah, next May, I
it's
think,
gonna
right?
still go on until yeah. But then we got the news that guess what?
Yep.
The Paramount merger with Sundance went through.
No way.
Oh great!
So
Like I didn't see that coming.
wonderful.
Yeah. So basically, Trump got what he wanted out of Paramount and CBS, and then the merger went through.
Unreal. Right? Corruption
Yeah,
at its finest.
I mean, you just can't make it up.
Nah. And then he says he's coming for Kimmel. Did you hear that one?
Yeah.
Right.
Good luck.
No, I mean, in other highly suspicious news, Ghislaine Maxwell was being interviewed by the FBI.
I heard about that vaguely. Tell us.
For last week Trump was like, "Oh, we're done with Epstein. Nothing to see here. No files. Nothing."
Full of shit.
Now we're interviewing Ghislaine Maxwell. I wonder what the FBI would have to say to her.
Right.
Well, I mean, they're definitely not fishing for information. Because all the information she had, she already told somebody. And that's in a nice little pile, apparently on Pam Bondi's desk. You need to go find that. Because I guarantee they moved it somewhere else, not on her desk anymore.
I'll tell you this whole
now,
thing.
There was a report that, there were literally 1,000 FBI agents who were told to comb through the documents and flag mentions of Trump. If you need 1,000 agents
right
to go through documents, and this was after, Trump was told that his name was in these files in May, which he denied publicly. So that's a fucking lie. But besides that, he had agents, 1,000 agents go and flag mentions of him in those documents. That does not look good
at all. Yeah.
Like, why are you frantically searching for your name in those documents? What is in them?
Exactly. It's full of lies. That's what's happening.
That's not the behavior of someone who's innocent.
Exactly. And his behavior already has proven that. Because a couple of weeks ago, we talked about, remember Pam Bondi said they were on her desk, then magically they disappeared. And then suddenly Obama and Hillary did it. He's just
Not that
coming
they
up with
disappeared.
excuses.
Not that they disappeared. They never
They didn't. They never
existed.
Or they
existed.
never existed, but then
There's
they
no-
did
there's no
exist. But
Epstein
Obama
list.
did it. Remember?
Yeah, and then Obama and Hillary and like
like anything to cover up the fact that he's probably a pedophile, and he hung out with one too. You know what I mean? Like it's insane.
Ooh.
And the Wall Street Journal actually just posted something recently, a new article, and it said that his name is on the list. In fact, quite a bit.
Also, that
Not that we didn't know that, but
apparently he sent Epstein a nice little love note for his birthday.
yeah, and a
Right.
drawing.
And
It
a
looked like it was
drawing.
done by a fifth grader, but yeah,
Apparently, Trump does not know how to write drawings.
yeah.
right. But meanwhile, yes, it's documented that he has drawn things. So in
It was the best picture
I guess
ever.
in the note to him, he called him an enigma, and I guess one of his officials denied that
He knew the
the
word.
word enigma. He's
Right.
on video saying the word enigma. So I
He'll duck
mean,
and dodge everything if you let him.
Oh yeah.
if you want to believe Trump, go right ahead, but you'd be a fool.
Yeah, basically at this point, because just like you said earlier, an innocent person wouldn't act this way. And then basically
No.
to add more ploy to, distract is his best method here. He puts on his Truth Social a picture or an AI video of Obama being arrested. Did you hear about that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Get the
it's
fuck out of here.
honestly
Like,
disgraceful.
Oh
Meanwhile,
look,
you can
we
get
got
a
him
real
arrested. We got him arrested. Everybody.
yeah, Obama's not going anywhere.
meanwhile, you can get a real video of Trump being arrested and arraigned. He doesn't have to use AI for that one.
No. And that's
Yeah.
why I love when the minions were wearing their shirts
Got
that
a
said never.
mugshot.
That's why I love when the minions were wearing those shirts that said never surrender. And it's a picture of him surrendering. Remember that? It was like, dude, like this is just so like hypocrisy at its finest, like just stupidity. Like it's like you can't make this up. But like I can't see this carrying on for much longer. And if it does like this, I don't know if we're gonna have a country in 3 years, man. Like this is just like abnormal at its finest too. And we're all just pretending it's okay. You know?
Right.
I think that's what brings us to a quick note that we are called Strange Planet Podcast. That's because you people are fucking strange. How did you elect this goddamn moron? What is going on with you?
Seriously,
how did you think this was gonna be better?
Yeah, is it great yet?
So, yes,
That's what I
we
want to
live
know.
in a strange planet.
You just can't make it up. I'm telling you, man. It just gets worse by the day. Like more lies, more cover-ups, more distractions. Because, like, I guess some of the base is dumb enough to believe whatever comes out of his mouth. Despite, you know what I mean? And
it's one thing to be ignorant and be driven down, or brought to water and expected to drink the water, or whatever the analogy is. You know what I'm talking about.
The same.
But it's another thing to be conscious of what's going on and still choose this side and still be up in arms like, I didn't expect it to end this way.
Right.
It's like, what did you expect to happen?
Yo, for real.
Everyone
right?
was just going to be okay with racism and
I think
retards.
A large part of the public no longer cares.
That could
They're
be
just nihilists that really don't care what happens because they don't see a good future, and so they're just like, might as well get what we can and
but
they're not getting anything. Just the billionaires
not
getting it.
They're getting entertained, I guess.
As their pockets are being ripped apart.
I mean, at that point, you're looking at people who are like, if I'm going into hell in a handcart, I'm going to enjoy the ride and watch everyone go with me. It's just, this is a product of just the huge wage gap between those who are in the upper 2% and those who are under that. Because while you say so, well, it's just money and money shouldn't really be an issue, but no, money is a huge issue. Money allows you to have a more comfortable life, allows you to de-stress a lot, so you're not worried about everything. Hey, you could attend your kids' baseball games or fair events or theater productions or whatever the situation is because you have the time to do so. So there's a large portion of this country who rely on every ounce of their check that they get and they still don't make enough to make ends meet.
Right.
Right.
That
But what's
cripples the
funny,
family, and that separates certain areas of people. And of course, you're going to be disenfranchised when you realize the government's just fucking you, and they don't give a shit about you.
Basically, yeah, that's
what's
where
funny,
we're at.
When you're
what's
at that
funny,
point, why vote? There was a point where I didn't want to vote. I said I don't give a fuck what the fucking outcome is because it doesn't matter anyway. You got the left playing you, you got the right playing you. They play against each other just to fuck you harder.
Yeah, because you realize nothing changes over the years. Really.
No, nothing
it just
changes
gets
over
worse.
the years. You got the Republicans who take office and spend, change, all these different rules to make
to better
them
accommodate them
better.
Yeah.
Make it easier for them to win.
Yeah.
And you got the Democrats who, when they're in office, they start to do things, but they're so fucking slow that nothing ever gets done by the time they're finished.
well, they're slow because they play by the rules.
I understand that, but at the same time, there needs to be a little more oomph.
I will say,
under your belly.
I mean, you can't do more oomph if you don't have the votes.
That votes is one thing. That's true. But the second thing is the corrupt Supreme Court. Like, I don't know how a Democrat can get anything done with a corrupt Republican
we can't even
Supreme
keep
Court.
the shit we had.
Yeah, well, look, we can't even. The people are 17 million are losing health care thanks to Trump. We can't even keep the health.
No, it is though. It's because of people like
you know what I mean. It's a circus.
It's because of these people who, when they get power, they don't have anybody to check them with their power. Mitch McConnell should have been friggin' sanctioned the second he was just like, oh hey, I'm not going to follow the rules and at least look at the appointee who's going to be, a Supreme Court justice. He's like, no, I'm not even going to look at that. I'm just going to leave it be. And then the second Trump becomes president,
suddenly, right?
Push it through real quick in the dead of night at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's how they do things. They'll sit there in office and sit down and like, all right, is it midnight? Let's start talking about it and get this done before 3 o'clock in the morning. So the world wakes up to us having fucked them even harder.
Yeah, basically. Yo, like for real though, like he's not lying there, because that's kind of how we're at. Because I feel like if we didn't have a corrupt Supreme Court and it was more balanced, at least it's possible
we'd have some kind of check.
Yeah, but it's possible even when Obama passed Obamacare, it could have been even better than it was when it was passed. The reason why it wasn't is because Republicans made them take this out, take that out, take this out, take that out. You know what I mean? And then next thing you know, you don't really have anything anymore. But luckily, it was still enough to, insure millions and millions of Americans. But now it's like we're going backwards, so we're losing that. You know what I mean? So what else are we losing? We undid Roe v. Wade last term. We're undoing the health care and just feeding the rich more billions and trillions.
You know what I mean? Voting rights.
I see what you're saying.
Your voting rights are going to be next.
Yeah, probably.
Your 401ks and your fucking retirement.
Social Security's already in jeopardy. Musk has it, of all people. Imagine. I don't know if he still does, but I'm assuming he does. But it's sad, man.
I say you people, when I'm talking about Trump voters, but it's not just that. It's the people in office who, enable him to do this kind of stuff, who share similar views, but at the same time, deep down they disagree with what's going on, but they do not have the sack to get up and do something about it,
or say no to him,
resist.
Yeah, or say no.
You got all these good people in Washington who are quitting because they can't do it anymore.
But that's like being a fucking pansy. You know what I mean? Like, I can't stand up to Trump, so I'm going to resign. What the fuck good are you then? Like, you know what I mean?
They get to keep
that's
their
why
job.
They're resigning, because they can't do anything, I guess.
Yeah, that's the reason why they suckle to the teat, is because they know if they stand up or challenge him, he'll just fire them. And then they won't have,
I honestly,
not just fire, they'll seek revenge.
Yeah, they'll probably imprison them even.
No, I think with Trump, I think it goes beyond that. I think with Trump, depending on what nerve you hit with him, he can either intimidate you, try to get you fired, try to get you arrested, or worse.
Or call up the company you work for and then fire you.
Pretty much, they can go the way of Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah,
they'll die, and it'll be like, oh, was he killed? Was he not killed? Who knows?
I don't know. Yeah. His last words were against me, ironically, though. you know what I mean? This is not normal, any bit of this.
None of this is normal.
Yeah, like this is
The
we're
worst
going.
part about
America is
it-
crashing hard right now.
The worst part about it all is that it's not normal in vast quantities. It's like when it started out, it was just what could he do next? What could he do next?
Yeah.
What could he do next? Now it's every day. It's like, what is he going to do next? That
Or what's he going to take
going to
away?
make us
I
forget
mean, that
what
was
happened
what his
yesterday.
first term was like.
The only
So-
difference with the first term was, though, we actually had people in place that would tell him no, and that's why he didn't get a lot of the criminal activity he's doing now done. You know what I mean? So basically,
Well, it's not only that they told him no, they like kind of like, you know, hid things from him. They didn't like they
Yeah.
weren't there
everything.
to necessarily carry
Oh.
out his wildest passions.
Hmm.
You know, there were people who actually, you know, they were not great people, but they had somewhat of a moral compass and they knew about policy. Whereas the people now, some of them know about policy, yeah, but they have zero moral compass and
Oh, they don't care. Yeah,
they're just like willing to do whatever it takes.
because they know they're
Um,
probably going to get a nice hefty little tax cut for it, or they're going to.
Because Trump sent a clear message to people in his, you know, who worked in his first administration and then weren't on board with how that ended. He sent a clear message that the people that work in his new administration have to be yes men or yes women, and they have to go along with whatever and protect, you know, him no matter what disgusting and vile things that he does to this country.
True. I'll say this little tidbit too. I don't know if you heard about this, but apparently, you know, we talked briefly already about the whole Paramount situation, but believe it or not, Paramount decided to entirely buy, I think it was pretty much buy almost all of the South Park episodes exclusively. So now basically, if you have Paramount Plus, you should be able to watch all South Park episodes. They're all going to be home there. And you know what
Except
the first thing the
episodes that
creators
they
did?
made fun of Trump.
Yeah, that's the first thing they did when they did that. How great is that? They made him
I
like
mean,
they did
might
the
as well get-
Canadians
might
with
as
the
well
cut
do
off
it.
head.
Might as well do it before
They get
They're,
canceled too. Yeah.
taking off the air.
I just
yeah.
thought that was hilarious. The fact that
Well,
they were
I
both
love
about
what
buying it, and then
Colbert
they
said.
shit on Trump the first
Colbert
episode.
said, he's like, oh, it's on now. Gloves are off. If we're canceled in May, I have all this time to say everything I've ever wanted to say about Trump. And that was the
South Park
best
guys
thing I
are
heard.
awesome.
Oh, it's going to be a Trump bashing fucking pop palooza when it comes to that.
You know what else I noticed too that we may have forgotten about during his last circus of a term, which is making this look like circus times 10. If I'm not mistaken, didn't Colbert make that our cartoon president? That show?
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's probably another reason why Trump's being, you know, the little conniving little bitch that whiny little bitch that he is. All right, everyone. That is all we got for this week. Thank you for watching Strange Planet Podcast. New episodes will be every Friday here on YouTube. And we will see you next week. Thanks for watching, and may God help us all. Peace.
Peace.